Okay, so we're in the middle of discussing the sugya of broken Keilim. Everyone please have a seat. There are a few seats left in the base medrash. You can sit down, just a couple of seats left. Have a seat. Okay, so we're in the middle. Oh, I should tell you, just to get the item in the Indian, because it seems that the item outside Indian are also in the middle of the Shu'um of Muktza. I got an email on Erev Shabbos from a fellow who wants to know the following shaila. Is his wife allowed to take out rollers that are inside the shaitel from Erev Shabbos? On Shabbos, he wants to take them out. Is there a shaila of either boire, or is it boine, or is it muktza? What would the olam say based on the gavaldige bekiyas? What's that?
What's boine about that?
Oh, I mean taking it out, because putting it in for sure is, you mean?
No, not really.
Putting it in for sure would be boine on Shabbos, because Adam and Chava, when they got married, the Chazal tell us, the Gemara on Shabbos, that when they had a chasna, the Rabbeinu Shalom braided Chava's hair. And the lashon that's used is vayivne, lashon of binyan. So braiding hair obviously is also on Shabbos, that we know, right? You can't braid hair on Shabbos. This is a Rabbanan, because obviously it's not miskayim. So putting the rollers in on Shabbos would be yasa, and taking them out probably would not be yasa. But would there be a shaila of muktza? Yeah. Because if these things build hair and they're also to be used on Shabbos, then they'd be also to remove. What din would they have? Which means but not mechamel itself. Very good. Thank you, Mori. That was beautiful. Beautifully answered. Next time I'm going to forward all emails about Muktza to you, and in Mitzvah Hashem, as we go to Shurim, we'll forward them all to you, and then you'll be able to answer them. This is Gavaldik. Okay, Rabbi Isai. So that was just to get the oilim back into the inyanim. Today, what I want to go. What? No, we can't do that. Shave of him. Okay, what I'd like to just continue what we started already on Thursday, which was the sugya of broken Keilim. Okay, we discussed the inyan of disposable Keilim, putting Keilim in the garbage before Shabbos, on Shabbos, and all these sorts of things. Let's move on to that. So there's a Gemara in Shabbos Kuf Chav Beis on base, where the Gemara tells like this: what happens if a door comes off of a closet? What would you say, Levi? What would you say in such a case?
What was the question?
Oh, what was the question? That's a good one. Excellent. So what happens if he has, like the Gemara in Shabbos tells us, chenished? Should we turn around the camera so everybody can see who it is? Aaron's ready. No, okay, fine. Let's move on. All the way in Williamsburg. So like this, somebody say. So what happens? Says the Gemara. Shlomo, you with me? If a door of a cabinet comes up on Shabbos. What's the halacha? Sometimes you open up the closet, the door of the kitchen, and you have one of these cupboards, and it comes off. Or, for example, in your room, I don't know, whatever. Sometimes you have sforim things. What's that?
You hold the thing for the rest.
Do you hold it there for the rest of Shabbos? Why? It's Muktza? Is it Muktza?
Yeah.
Why is it Muktza?
What is the use for it?
If it's got no usage. So it's similar to a glass cup that's smashed that has no usage. Yeah. So the Gemara tells us, the Gavaldik Chiddush, that is not true. And the Gemara tells us like this, and it's a huge sugya, which we're not going to go into at this exact moment of time, but what we will just say is like this: any single time a cupboard door comes off, even though I'm not really using the cupboard door, but it could be used. By the way, if you think about it, I could use it as a tray. I could use it to serve things. I could. It has a usage theoretically, right? It's not like a glass cup that smashes into 1,000 pieces, that every piece of glass has absolutely no usage, right? You're masking, there's a difference, right? The Gemara tells us that there is a difference. Why? Because it's going to be put on back after Shabbos. In other words, since when Shabbos came in, it was like a valdige kli. It was beautiful. It worked. Just on Shabbos it got removed, and the kavanah is to reattach it on Motzei Shabbos. There's not Muktza.
So it only works if you plan on reattaching it.
Which generally you are. But yes, that would be correct. If you plan on reattaching it, then that would be okay. And therefore that would be okay. What's a classic example that can happen to any of us on a Shabbos, even if you don't open up a closet, is your button on your suit. What's the din? You have a button on your suit, on your shirt, whatever, and it comes off. What's the din of that button? Do we say that it's the same lomdus? That when Shabbos came in, it was gavaldik, it was usable. Now on Shabbos it came off, and my intention is to reattach it.
The button you can't use as a tray. The button has zero.
Very, very good. So you could tie up. you could tie, and the Aruch HaShulchan seems to say that mahalach, that since be'etzem the door is something that's usable, could be I'm not going to use it, right? I don't want to get scratched and ruined, but l'maiser it could be it's usable. Mashayik, the button, what use is a button there? The Gemara tells us that a button could be used for what? To covering like a top of a bottle or a pitcher. Right, just like, to cover like the lid, to make it like a mini lid. Right, we're not going to do that. Nobody's using their button to cover their Coca-Cola can or Coca-Cola bottle for that purpose. So therefore, there's no problem whatsoever. So therefore, the question is like this: what's the din of a bottle? So a lot of poskim, for example, Rav Moshe, Rav Shlomo Zalman, Rav Elyashiv, the Osnid Brew, they all paskin that since a button has absolutely no shimish whatsoever, it is 100% muktza. And therefore you cannot pick it up. There's no tzorah gufo imakoymai. That means if your button of your suit fell off and it's really annoying because it's on the floor now on Motzei Shabbos, I want to get that button back in order to reattach it to my suit. You can't just pick it up.
What category is it?
Very good. Muktza machmas gufay. Because why? It's not a kli. It has no function whatsoever. A kli has a function. This has no function. Mimela, I cannot move it tzorah gufo imakoymai. The only heter would be, which we'll get to at the end of Muktza, is doing I had to like tiltul begufay with my foot. Okay, we'll talk about that. Be'ez Hashem, we'll get to what halacha does it have of moving something with your foot. When can you do that? We'll talk about that. However, I must mention to you that there are many poskim who are mekel and who hold that a button is not muktza. Min Shabbos passing this way. The Heilige Debet Tzidi Rabban Ben Moshe Chelevav Sem Peizayin. My Rebbe Rav Sheinberg paskin this way as well. Chacham Ovadia in Yabia Oima. The Shevet Halevi also paskins this way. And the poskim want to tie the shir. According to them, it's not muktza. No, it's not muktza. It's not even muktza. You can put it in your pocket and move on. Shabbos wants to tie, he brings all the shitas. He says, listen, toiv lahachme. If you don't have to worry, for example, let's say you're in yeshiva. Let's make it very clear. You're in yeshiva, a button fell off in the base medrash. I need this button to put back on my suit on Motzei Shabbos, right? So I could be sabich on the poskim for sure, let's say to pick it up. Or I have gedolei poskim that say not to. So say it's in the base medrash. Just kick it to the side, leave it to the corner, Motzei Shabbos will pick it up. Masha Inkein. If, for example, it's a button that's very, very expensive, or it's a chashva button that you can't get another one like this, it's matching with the suit, whatever, so then, in a chanami, especially in a place where you will not be able to get it Motzei Shabbos, then you should be able to be makel in that case and pick it up without any problem whatsoever over there. And Rav Shlomo and Rav Sheinberg's lomdas is double posher. What's the difference between this and a cupboard tool? There's no real difference whatsoever. Okay? Now, let's move on, Rabbi Sai. Okay, I want to move on to something that's very, very, very important. Okay? Okay, so everything we discussed until now discusses a cupboard door, or for example, the back of a chair. That could be similar as well. Sometimes it comes off, the back of the chair, for example. I can still use the chair. Now the question is like this, and this is a very, very important sugya, and we'll spend a few minutes now discussing this. Generally, we say that if something when Shabbos came in was a gavaldige kli, and the intention was to refix it on Motzei Shabbos, if it broke on Shabbos, it's not going to be a problem. So far, so good? There's an exception. What's the exception? So the Gemara tells us in Shabbos, Kufna Melchesem base about a kira. A kira is an oven, right? The olden day ovens. So the Gemara says, what happens if you have a kira, you have an oven, that one of the legs broke off? What's the halacha? So the Gemara says, if it's one leg, it's okay. If it's two legs, the whole thing is muktza. The whole thing is muktza. A leg. We're dealing with an oven. The whole thing is muktza. Why? What's the difference? What should be the difference all of a sudden now that I have an oven that two of the legs are broken off, that the whole thing becomes muktza?
There's one leg, it's still usable.
Ooh, Gavaldiga says Shimon Bayradik. When I have one leg, what's that?
It can't run without two legs.
It can't run without two legs. Very good. Shkoyach. When you have a table with 4 legs, it works. Al Pikabola, you're meant to have one with 4 legs, right? Everybody knows when you go shopping for a table, you look one for 4 legs. Al Pikabola. But if it has 1 leg missing, could you use the table? You could use the table. If it has 2 legs, nothing to talk about. So it becomes muktza. So it becomes 100% muktza. For example, let me give you a classic example. Your glasses. One of the legs snap. The whole thing becomes muktza now.
No.
The whole thing becomes muktza.
People still use it because they can't see without it.
So I can also use my table theoretically. I could use the kira theoretically. What's going to fall? So my glasses are going to fall.
They have from your nose, the other side, they stay on.
It stays on with one?
Yeah, it could stay on.
What's the reason for the issa? Let's go a step back and then we'll go back into the glasses. Don't worry. What's the reason for the issa? So I'll tell you the reason for the issa, okay? Kavaldige issa, this one. It's absolutely unbelievable. You have to know this one, very, very important, because it's negated to many, many things. The reason why it's asa to me metaltal the kira, I'm not even discussing the piece that came off, the entire kira, the whole oven is muktzah, is because there's a gzeira midrabanon, you may come to fix it. Why? Because over here you cannot use it. Bishloima, the cabinet or the cupboard, or even the back of the chair, I could use the chair, I could use the cupboard. Just because it doesn't have a door in it doesn't make it unusable. Masha'enkin, if you have a kira, if you have an oven, with me, where the two legs come off, it's unusable. Mimela. What's the problem if it's unusable? Because I'll say the oven works. Because it's very hard to use it in that way, which means Chazal were Geyser, you're going to come to fix it on Shabbos. Which means that any situation you have where something could be fixed and it breaks, then there's a gzeira that the entire piece is muktzah. As a gzeira, you may come to fix it. Okay? That's what it means. Which means halacha l'maisa. Let's go back to the glasses a second.
Use a three-legged table.
What's that? If it's easily usable, it could be okay.
You could use it. What about still gonna fix it. It's still wobbly.
If it's very wobbly and hard to use, because every time I eat it sort of wobbles all over the place, you're right, that will be included, and the entire table is now muktzah. No, that's fine. Nothing will happen to that table. A little bit of a wobble is okay, but if sometimes it tips from one to the other, and while I'm drinking, and the whole thing can come tumbling down, then it's a gzeira, I may come to fix it. Okay? What do you want to say?
They're going to think we have bad furniture.
We have brand new, beautiful benches over here. If anybody wants to donate, no. Okay, listen carefully, Rabbi Isai. There are a few exceptions. It's very important to get the exceptions very, very clear. Okay? Very, very important. Daniel, are you with me? Sure? Okay. So it goes like this. The Ovi over here comes along in tiners. The glasses stay on. Okay? What happens if the glasses, let's go back to the glasses, it broke off. Am I allowed to use my glasses or the entire pair of glasses Muktza now? That's the shaila. So the Ramah tells us like this. The Ramah says, what if I use the glasses before Shabbos? I came into Shabbos wearing broken glasses. So now there's no gzeira anymore. Why not? Because I'm wearing it and I'm showing that it's usable without being fixed. Mamela, there's no gzeira. So that would be the exact case with the table, a bench, one of the legs comes off and it's very weird, whatever, but the mice of the olim are using it, the olim is wearing his glasses, then there's no problem, says the Ramah, of Muktza in that case, because there's no gzeira in that case. Says the Mishnah Berurah, I'll take it a step further. What happens if it's not fixable? What if it snapped? What if it's not shut that the screw came out, that I could just re-screw it back in, which obviously is also because of boina. It literally snapped. So there's no real way to fix it. What's the way to fix it? I have to go to the store and get a new one. It's closed already. If you're Shivish, you can use duct tape. We're not chayshish for that. We're not chayshish for that. No, we're not worried that a person's going to tape it up. We're talking about the regular way of fixing it by the screw and screwing it in. That we're not worried. If it snapped, then it's okay. Which means, anytime you have a kli that broke on Shabbos, even before Shabbos for that matter, and it's very hard to use, but the only way to fix it is by going to a store, calling a professional guy in, then it's okay. Because there's no gzeira you're going to go to fix it, because you cannot fix it. You with me? Shlomo. Yeah? Very clear. Very simple. Another example. What if the screw is not here? What if it didn't snap? The screw came out, got loose. The screw's gone. It's gone. So if it's not here, I can't fix it, right? Theoretically, if I had the screw, I don't have the screw. So a Fagzasel told me a gewaltige Sach. Told me a modige Sach. What happens? And this is very negay. Your glasses break. The screw comes out. I want to fix it. I can't. It's Shabbos. But I want to wear the glasses. So the gewaltige Eitzer. Get rid of the screw. Ah, but there's a problem. What's the problem? No. Simple problem. You guys are thinking way too deep. Way too deep. You guys are already in Mickey Vegas. I'm in simple pshat.
Once you have it, you might just fix it.
No. Oh! Says Mordechai, Kavaldik, the screw is Muktza. So what do? So he told me very simple. You pick it up with your lips. Put it down the drain. It's gone. Now it's longer here. Now it's longer here. There's no problem with Muktza anymore. That would be the eights if you want to use the glasses if they're broke. Again. The glass is broke because the screw came out. The screw's in front of me on the stender. What do? It's in front of me. I can't use the glasses. The glasses are now 100% Muktza machmas gufay. I can't move them. What's that? So again, we didn't go into it yet. We'll talk about it at the end of Muktza. We'll discuss all the Teirim. But yes, two reasons. Number one, it's mutter. Number one, my Rebbe told me. There's a Chassam Sofer, Yodei Sabah Kufya Test, where the Chassam Sofer writes, he talks about the inyan of, it's the gate you guys are learning Makas now, you're learning the third parak. So he talks about the Indian of combing. Are you allowed to comb your hair? On a Wednesday. He's not talking about Shabbos. Obviously, Shabbos, End of Shemin, Shin Gimel, everyone knows that's also. We're talking about on a Wednesday afternoon. What din does that have? What's the shaila of combing your hair? Hello? Like Yilbash, cute. No. Next. What's another example? What's the problem of combing your hair? What? During the week. Hair will come out. What's the problem? Gemara Nozeh. What's the Gemara say? Problem with the payas. If you comb in a mokum payas, even if you don't have, people think payas means, no. Payas means anyone that has hair in that mokum. So therefore, if you comb in that place, it's going to be a problem of putting out payas. Also, so the Heilige Chassam Sofer has a modige tshuva, and he writes over there a modige zach. He says it's mutter. How do I know it's mutter? Reason number one, my Rebbe Reb Nassan Arda did it. That's it. That's good enough for me. Agav, then he goes on to a whole mahalik thing. But the first thing he says, my Rebbe did it. If my Rebbe did it, then it must mean it's mutter. Okay, that's how he learns pshat. Okay, moving on. So now, if a fact told me to do it, then obviously it's mutter. But yes, it's mutter because we'll talk about it at the end of the shaila about tilta pekufay. But I'll call upon him. When we talk about the screws, then you get rid of it. Then you would be okay over there to use the glasses over there. Now, many shailas that we've already run out of time, but we have to discuss. Shaila number one. What if your watch stops on Shabbos? Shaila number two. Okay? If a toilet seat comes off on Shabbos or before Shabbos, are you even allowed to sit on it? Are you allowed to put it on and just sit on it temporarily? Yes. Is that going to be a problem or not? What about a broomstick? What about a buggy or a stroller that a wheel came off? Also very nageya. All of these things. There is a tzitzis. Right? Rabbi said there's a lot to discuss tomorrow, but Ezra Hashem, we'll go back into the sugya and we'll go to the practical case. That come in. Have a wonderful, gavaldig day.